From punching a 50-year-old man in the pub to smashing fans' phones, here are some of the things that Conor McGregor probably wants you to forget. This first one was downright outrageous. It's the 2019 phone incident. So, there was this one time when Conor McGregor checked into the Fontainebleau Hotel, and like any famous person, fans were excited to see him. But things did not go quite as planned when one fan got a little too snap-happy with their camera and started taking pictures of McGregor without his consent. Well, let's just say McGregor was not happy about it. He lost his cool and took matters into his own hands. Literally, he grabbed the fan's phone and chucked it on the ground. Yikes. That's not a good look, Conor. With social media being what it is, footage of the incident quickly made its way to the public eye, and it did not take long for the authorities to catch wind of McGregor's little outburst. He ended up getting arrested and charged with strong-arm robbery and criminal mischief. That's definitely not a situation you want to find yourself in. But here's the good news. The civil lawsuit that popped up was later dropped, along with McGregor's charges. So it looks like things ended up working out okay in the end. Still, it's probably a good idea for Conor to practice a little more self-control next time he's in the public eye.
Tell us what you felt. Tell us what you thought was going on.
Just the thing had separated and we played and landed on the wonky leg like Anderson Silva that time. Something similar to that. It's a mad out business.
And even though he avoided jail time, the man would want the public to forget it ever happened. This next one was another instant when he lost his cool. It's the time he punched an old guy. Conor's definitely known for his intense fighting skills and fiery personality, but sometimes he takes things a little too far. Case in point, the time he punched a 50-year-old man in a pub. Yep, you heard that right. McGregor was just casually hanging out, enjoying a drink or two, when he got into an argument with the other patron, and things quickly escalated. Before anyone could react, McGregor threw a punch right at the guy's face. And what's even crazier is that the man didn't even press charges. Can you believe that? I guess he must have really been a McGregor fan to let something like that slide.
Backstage, I'm starting fights off everybody. I've ridiculed everyone on the roster. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Now, the whole incident was caught on camera, because when you're a famous athlete, everything you do is news. And let me tell you, the footage was not a good look for McGregor. People were pretty shocked that he would do something like that, especially to someone that old. In the end, he did apologize for his behavior, but let's hope he learned his lesson and won't be throwing any more punches in public places. And even though he apologizes, he still pulls the same kind of stunt after some time. For instance, this next incident, it's the bus attack. Oh man, have you heard about the time Conor McGregor went on a rampage and attacked a bus full of people? It's a wild story, let me tell you. So, McGregor was apparently not too happy with one of his fellow UFC fighters, Khabib Nurmagomedov, and instead of, talking it out like adults, McGregor decided that the sanest way to go about fixing things would be by attacking their bus. He and a group of his buddies showed up to a UFC media event in Brooklyn, where they proceeded to attack a bus that was carrying several fighters. This included Nurmagomedov. McGregor even threw a dolly at the bus, shattering one of the windows. Can you even imagine how scary that must have been for everyone involved?
Nice jab. Half kick there from Poirier. Nice.
Poirier.
And he points at him.
Conducting loves the fight.
Now, people were understandably pretty shocked by McGregor's behavior. It was definitely not a good look for him or the UFC. No wonder he'd like it best if the masses forget about it. In the end, McGregor was arrested and faced several charges, including assault and criminal mischief. He did end up making a plea deal and avoided any jail time, but he was still heavily criticized for his actions. Plus, this wasn't the only time he attacked a fellow athlete. I'm pretty sure everyone remembers the Nate Diaz bottle incident. This one time he got into a brawl with his opponent Nate Diaz, and it all started with a water bottle. McGregor and Diaz were both scheduled to speak at a press conference before their big fight, but things quickly spiraled out of control when Diaz started taunting McGregor, who then proceeded to throw a water bottle at him. And let me tell you, that was just the beginning. Before anyone knew it, both fighters were launching bottles and cans at each other, causing chaos and mayhem. It was definitely not your average press conference, that's for sure. Of course, all of it was broadcasted, and people couldn't believe what they were seeing. McGregor was known for his brash personality and quick temper, but this was on a whole other level.
Yeah, 145 pounds was the fight against Pacquiao, and my fight is 145 pounds.
Okay, so you're in the same weight class. What if you were in the ring with Floyd Mayweather? What do you think would happen?
In the end, both fighters were fined and punished for their behavior. Maybe next time McGregor should just stick to trash talking and leave the projectiles at home. And since the Irishman thinks he's paid his dues, he would love it if the world would stop bringing it up. But it's not just the fans or his colleagues who face his temper. The officials also end up facing his wrath at times. Do you remember the Bellator drama? Okay, let me tell you about the time Conor McGregor caused a ruckus at a Bellator event. So, McGregor was there to support his buddy Charlie Ward, who was in a fight against John Redmond. Now, things were going pretty well for Ward, but at the end of the first round, Redmond was hurt, and it seemed like the fight should have been stopped. But the referee, Mark Goddard, did not stop it, and that's when McGregor stepped in. Literally, he jumped over the octagon and started celebrating with Ward, which honestly sounds pretty fun. But then, things took a turn for the worse. When Goddard tried to separate McGregor from the fighters and continue the fight, McGregor shoved him, and he even knocked down Redmond, who was already hurt. But wait, it gets even crazier. McGregor left the ring, but then he came back and climbed on top of the cage. An official tried to stop him, but Conor actually slapped the official. Like, what was he thinking?
He shot a few times in the first. I just think it doesn't take me long, Megan. One shot, and you're on a downhill slope then. A losing battle then.
In the end, McGregor did apologize for his behavior, saying that he let his emotions get the best of him. And while fans appreciate a good show of support for a friend, there's definitely a line that should not be crossed. This final one wasn't as physical, but was equally horrific. And I'm pretty sure he would love it if no one brought it up again. It's the homophobic slurs. So, for a long time, he's been known as a supporter of the LGBTQ community, which is great. But then, sometimes he says stuff that clearly proves the opposite. For instance, this one time, he was caught using really offensive and hurtful language toward his opponent. This happened in Poland in 2017, when McGregor was heard using gay slurs, and even dropping the F word on Andre Fili. Why would you use such a disgusting word if you were an advocate?
The fight obviously stopped in a horrible way. Give us your thoughts on how it was going.
I was boxing the bleeding head off him, kicking the bleeding leg off him. Usual shite dive to close the distance.
McGregor did eventually apologize for his comments, saying that he meant no disrespect. And while that is a step in the right direction, it was still pretty disgusting. No wonder he'd like it best if the matters were thrown under the rug for good. Anyway, that's all I had for you today on things Conor McGregor would like for you to forget. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.